Welcome in to the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com for the Wednesday, October 14th card. And we're going to take a look at the allowance feature as well as the late pick 4. And it's a 3 other than allowance condition. So that's a tough one, Jim, because horses kind of sometimes can move through the 1X and 2X fairly quickly. But getting up to the 3X, you get sometimes tough old claimers, some low-level stakes horses, and it's you can catch some tough groups. So I thought this was a tough one. How did you see it?
Yeah, but that's a good thing from a wagering standpoint because I don't think that's going to be a real strong favorite in here.
True.
I landed on annulment for Robbie Alvarado and Vicky Oliver because they're dropping out of 3 consecutive stakes races. So they're trying to get a spot for this one to win, and Vicky Oliver spots him pretty well. She's not that, she doesn't have that many horses, but she's always got a shot, and Robbie is riding really well right now. I would take annulment on top, the 1 horse. I'd also give a shot to Patsy's Holiday for Fletcher and Lake Road. Ships from Saratoga, but winless in 2015, so I'm not so sure that it'd be a good bet on top. To the Tango with Brian Lynch and Giroux. Woodbine Shipper won the last out at a 62.5 allowance, so fits real well. And Industrial Policy is the other horse I'd take, but another one that's winless in 2015. So you got a lot of horses searching for that right level where they can get another win. So you're right, it's a handicapping challenge. I would take annulment on top, and I would use all 4 of those in the pick 4 that we're going to talk about in just a minute.
I ended up taking Patsy's Holiday, kind of mainly on the theory of when in doubt, take the Saratoga Shipper. And that's kind of how I ended up on Patsy's Holiday. Not really real heavily sold on the pick because Annulment, Industrial Policy, and I think it's Analog Girl have all won at Keeneland once each. So they like the course. But Patsy's Holiday does come off the first race that she ever ran at 1 mile and 1/8 and showed some improvement, so it ought to be better the second time going 1 mile and 1/8. So I'm going to take Patsy's Holiday, but use her with Annulment, Industrial Policy, and Analog Girl in a 4-horse exacta box. Use all 4 of those in the pick 4, which starts in the 5th race. I'm going to begin it with number 5, Streamline. Horse, it's improving steadily, 3 wins out of 5 starts, but I would also use the entry, the 1-1A entry, the 2 and the 4. In the 6th race, 12's a fairly heavy favorite. I thought the 9, Sweetwater, is dangerous because Cassie's 2-year-olds are running really well and had a good local work, so I'm going to use 9 and 12. The 4 I mentioned in the feature, and in the last race, I like Pie. I like the 10 horse also. I think one of those 2 probably wins it, but I want to throw in the 3, Rhapsody's Gift, because that horse is dropping out of a maiden claiming race at Kentucky Downs, and those maiden races were worth so much money. Those were tough fields, and this horse is 15-1. So for a price, I'm going to throw the 3 in there as well in the last leg of the pick 4, but I kind of think 9 or 10 will win it. How about you?
I'm going to use 5 in the first leg. I'm going to use the Ramsey entry. You always use Ramsey the last couple of weeks because he wants to win the owner's title at Keeneland, so he's always live. Never throw out a Ramsey horse, so he's got 2 shots in here. Factory of Faith, actually it's $125,000 optional claimer at Kentucky Downs. I would use her. 1 Liz, I would use College Holly, the 4, so I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, and Streamline your 5 horse. So I would go 1 through 5 in the 5th race. The 6, I would take a stand on Lady Day Blues, the 12. Has lost both starts to fillies who came right back and won. You look at the Daily Racing Form, they're italicized, so those horses came right back and won their next race. So she's caught some tough fields, and I think she's single at probably 2-1 or so. 12 hole doesn't thrill me, but it's a pretty weak field. 7th race, I would use the 1, 2, 4, 5 as we spoke before, with Annulment being my top pick. Last race, I'm not going to take a shot. I'm going to use all. I'm going to spend $75, and I'm going to go all in on that race and hope to get a price. So 5 by single, by 3, by 10 is $75.
Best of luck with your Wednesday wagers. We'll be here doing the In the Money podcast each racing day of the fall meet, and they got the Sycamore Stakes coming up on the Thursday card. Got the Grade 2 Lexus Raven Run coming up on Saturday, and, of course, Breeders' Cup's just around the corner. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach. This is the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.